Hey y'all, in this tutorial I want to show you how I go about cutting paper rings. I call these rings. So how I use my rings is I use them in my collage work a lot. And I recently had someone ask me, how do you do your paper rings, because they look really good. So this is how I do it. Here is a ring. This is not a ring. This is a circle. Here I have a circle, and I use an Xacto blade, and I hand cut this circle using scissors. But to cut the middles, I use an Xacto blade, and this is how I go about doing it. I work in small little strokes. I move the circle around, meaning that I'm only working in this direction only, really small. And I'm holding with my left hand. I'm pressing pretty hard with my left hand to keep the paper from moving. Now, the reason I don't come all the way like this is because physically this begins to get really awkward, and I'm gonna get off with my circle. I'm gonna end up like with a wonky line. So that is why I work in just small strokes, and I pretty much move the paper around. Here I'm coming up to my original beginning. Whoop, this was a thick paper, so I'm just making sure I cut all the way through. There we go. And there we have it. Here's one of my paper rings. You can see I have tons of them, and I've got tons of them cut and ready to go. How do I handle the middle? So with the centers, the edges are wonky. They're not like perfect. They look pretty good on the ring, but when you look at this, it's actually kind of bumpy. So I clean that up by hand by just trimming, shaving a little tiny bit off. This also just helps me reshape this circle if I want it reshaped or made smaller. That looks really good. I'm gonna cut one more time because I love using the yellow rings. I use them in my work to represent suns, like sunshine. So I know that this ring will serve me well in my work. So this is it. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. There you have it. Another ring and another circle that I can use in for the work. So every ring that you see of mine, I cut it this way. I use an Xacto, cut around. I always recycle and use the center. That's why you see a ton of rings and whole circles here. So I hope this helped you out. I hope it inspired you to, hand cut some circles. They're really wonderful hand cut, and make some rings. How can you use paper rings in your work? So I hope you take this and you go make something amazing. Happy creating, y'all.